Hello, this is Renee from Extreme Steam Coaching and Mentoring, and today I wanted to talk to you about fragrances and the kind of fragrances that we leave behind. We're born into this world, and most of us, whether we are feeling good or whether we are feeling bad, we generally are consumed by our own selves. All of our life and our thoughts and our feelings are mostly consumed by ourselves, unless we've matured and grown up and through contact with God have decided that we want to grow up and think about other people and think about the impact that we are not the only ones in the world, that there are other people around and that we can have impact on them. But most people, they walk around unaware of the kind of fragrances or influences that they have. Often they surround themselves by people that they like or that like them. Not necessarily people that are good for them or people who they really want to be like, but they surround themselves by people that make them feel comfortable where they're at. And often when they're challenged by that, or they see people are succeeding around them who used to be where they're at, they feel very uncomfortable and start attacking them. So I just wanted to talk to you about thinking about what kind of fragrance you leave behind. If you were a perfume, the things that ruminate in your mind and the things that you say to yourself, the attitude that you have about yourself and other people as you meet them and go throughout the world and throughout the day and throughout your work life, every contact that you have, whether it's on the phone or in person or by Zoom or however it is, what kind of fragrance are you leaving behind? Are you thinking and talking and acting in a way where who you are and your being is vibrating a stink? Are you talking about death all the time? Are you pulling people down? Is your fragrance the fragrance of pus and sickness and evil? Or is it the fragrance and the refreshment of hope of a new day? Are you, the things that you're thinking about, your attitude and that you're talking about, are they things that smell good? If it was to be transformed and translated into a fragrance, and if we lived in heaven where words and sounds become colors and vibrations and they are living things that you can actually see, if people was to see the smell around you, what kind of smell would they smell? Would it be the smell of decay where you are stuck in things that have gone past in the past, and you're just digging up old graves and old things that really should be buried and left behind? Are you, sometimes we walk around and we are pretending. Most people pretend, not everybody does, but a lot of people are pretending. They say one thing, and when they're talking to a person or a group or something, they're looking and they're speaking or they're quiet, but inside them they are releasing certain vibrations and certain fragrances and certain sounds from their being. They're releasing certain truths. And because we are more than physical beings, we are spiritual beings, and we are soul beings, and we are brain beings, and we are feeling beings as well, and we have spiritual senses, we have soul senses, and as well as physical senses. We can't actually fully hide those things. There are people in the world today who, as you probably know, can see beyond. They can see auras, and they can see vibrations, they can see colors, and some people can even smell things on people. If somebody's been in a lot of trouble and a lot of horrible things, and if they're involved in violence and death and things like that, they can actually sense those things. If they're involved in depraved things, they can actually smell those sorts of things on them. Are we putrefying smells? Are we good smells? Are we hopeful fragrances that when someone smells it, it just brings a revitalizing light into somebody else's being? Are we positive people? Are we negative people? Are we ones that give life and hope? Is the way we look and the way we walk around, Does that give hope? Does that leave a lingering fragrance? You know, many of us have been around people at times when someone walks past us, you think, that was a really nice fragrance. I wonder what perfume that they have on. Well, we can carry this stuff in our being, and we can release it everywhere we go. We can release life, and we can release hope. Even a single smile with the heart's intent can create an amazing effect, and can actually go very far, to the point that it can actually save somebody's life. So I just want to challenge you to think about your fragrances. If you were a fragrance, what kind of a fragrance are you at work? If there was a way that we can have a technology that can see the fragrances around you and coming from you, what would that be? What would it be at home? Would it be in your relationship? If you are engaged in a relationship through marriage, are you a good sister? Are you a bad sister? Are you a good father? Are you a bad father? What are the fragrances that your children are smelling from you, from your being? And your parents, what if people were to honestly and be free to say, if they were to describe you on a range of fragrances, what would they say? And more importantly, do you have the courage to have a look inside you and have a look at what your fragrance is actually? Because we tend to think we're just so awesome and so great, everything should be done for us, everything we say and we believe is right. And we actually we're not truthful to ourselves to look in the mirror and to see what's actually there, so that we can change and transform it, not being threatened concerning our identity or value, but rather trying to be the best of who we are, to bring out and not to settle for anything less than us being fully us, and us growing into who we really want to be truly creators, to be impact people. Okay, I just wanted to talk to you about that. Think about it as you go through the week. Think about it when you're standing in the shopping line. Think about it when you're waiting for your hair to be done. Think about it when you're forced to wait in certain situations. And think, okay, in that relationship, what kind of fragrance did I just release? Or whether they're good relationships or bad relationships, think about the fragrances that you're releasing, and then ask yourself, are you happy? Am I happy with that? Do I want to change it? Is that the kind of legacy I want to leave behind? Is that the kind of memory? Am I happy to release a putrefying or not a very nice smell, a stink, with people, that they're happy because they're happy for me to be that kind of a person? But really, is that really what I want to be remembered for? Is that the kind of thing I want to leave behind? So if you don't like it, if you have a look, and if you don't like it, change it. All right, thank you very much for your time. I hope you're doing well. I know you can do it. You can change your life. You can be more than what you think is possible in your life and in your being and in who you are. And remember, live an extremely glorious life. Bye.